Hi everyone, welcome to another WiZDOM update. My name is Andrew Kubang and it's my absolute privilege to be one of the National Directors of WiZDOM. So this video is number 3 of the Bank Secrets series, and that is just a series that I'm doing of 12 videos, which is just all of the secrets that we've learned that banks will keep from you over the decades and decades and decades that we've done business with the banks. And hopefully if you have a better understanding of these secrets, it positions you to maximize your outcome over the course of your property journey. So today the secret is this: why banks want all of your business. And the reality is that a lot of people think this is a profit motivation, but the truth is it's not. It's absolutely about control. So what the banks will do every single time is get as much control over you as they possibly can, and sure, that leads to greater profits, but even better than that, it means that they have all the control and the flexibility when things start to go wrong. So specifically what I'm talking about here is cross-collateralisation. Now, if you don't know what that term means, cross-collateralisation is when the bank takes security over more than one of your properties to support your loans. So typically how this comes about is this: you have a property, you obviously have a relationship with an existing bank. Over time, the property value improves and you pay the loan down as these things typically go. One day you go, well, we've built up some equity in this property through the value and through our great repayment history. Maybe it's time to buy an investment property. And like most people do, you already have a relationship with the bank, and so you go in and see them. And typically those conversations go like this: hey, Andrew, we can absolutely do that for you, and it's going to be really, really easy. What we'll do is this: we'll pre-approve you often, to go and buy an investment property, and we will even finance over your purchase price. So we'll finance all of the purchase price at 100%, plus we'll even give you some extra money for all the fees charged and everything else, which often are another 5%. And it's going to be really, really simple because we already have, your existing house as security. We can just leverage off of that. And as a result of that, it's all going to be really simple and really straightforward. And because, hey, you're loyal to us and, you're going to give us all of your business, we'll even offer you a fantastic interest rate. All sounds pretty good, right? Well, the truth is that what has happened there is that unfortunately you think you've got a good outcome, but the bank has actually got more control over you. And how that plays out is this: if unfortunately you have some unfortunate circumstances that play out in your life and you start to have some challenges around repayment, well, you've put the bank in a position where they could use and utilize any of their security to repay any of their facilities, right? So they are not bound to necessarily sell one property or another when it comes to how they get their money back in a bad situation. And typically, when I talk to investors, everybody says to me that the one property they don't want to be touched or they don't want to lose is their principal place of residence. Well, think about for a second that the bank has, security over your principal place of residence as part of having security over all of your properties. And the reality is that you don't have the right to be there because there's no lease agreement over your principal place of residence. Often it's the most valuable property in your portfolio. Often it's in the best condition, and often it's the easiest to sell. So when stuff starts to go wrong and the bank's sitting back going, hey, which of these properties are we going to potentially look to sell? Unfortunately, pretty quickly, your principal place of residence starts to look pretty attractive about them getting the bulk of their money back, or at least as much money as possible quickly. And it's also a very easy property to sell, very easy to get you to vacate and everything else. Now, you might believe that this doesn't happen. I can absolutely assure you that unfortunately, I've seen where it does, and it happens more than you like. So how do we work around that? Well, the reality is if we're not going to give them the control, we need to make sure that we keep the control. And how we keep the control in every banking circumstance is never give them more than they absolutely need to have. So what we would do to prepare you as part of getting market ready is that we would equity release your existing property with an appropriate bank. So that would cover your home loan, plus we would get a bunch of money available to you to act as your deposit and cover all of your costs, and potentially if there's more money to spend on that around strategy or intent with that property, we'll get access to that money as well. And we'll have all of that ready to go with Bank A. And then when it comes to buying the investment property, we will approach a completely different bank, Bank B. Now, when you find that property, we will obviously do an 80%, 90%, whatever is appropriate for that particular property. That'll cover the bulk of that purchase price, and then the remaining deposit, plus your fees and charges and everything else, will come out of that facility that we've created in your home loan. Now, a lot of you might be sitting there thinking, well, but if I'm taking money out of my house or a loan supported by my house, it's still kind of supported by my principal place of residence. Yes, that is absolutely the case. You know, I wouldn't want to shy away from the fact that we have still leveraged the value in your principal place of residence to achieve the investment property purchase. The difference is they're different banks. So, unfortunately, if things start to go badly, what do? Well, we make sure that our home loans are very well looked after. That's where we put all our money to. Any capacity that we've got, you know, that gets looked after. So Bank A that has our house is very, very comfortable with how everything is happening, while we let the investment go to hell. You know, so that's the one that you wouldn't pay if you didn't have the money to be able to. And of course, eventually Bank B is going to have a problem with that and start to act about that. But again, we have the control here, right? It doesn't stop necessarily bad things from happening, but at least we can control that process. We can then choose to go and sell the investment property, you know, pay that particular Bank B down. They're going to go away, and of course the extra money will then go and help reduce our existing facilities on our PPR. Now, the other thing is that happens a lot when it comes to cross-collateralisation is that you'll go and ask your bank and you'll say, oh, Andrew, you know, did this video, I'm very concerned that I'm cross-collateralised, I've given you guys control over everything. And of course, the banker that works at the bank will say to you, no, it's fine. Everything is standalone. Well, unfortunately, standalone is not fine either. The truth is that if you have it all with one lender, in their fine print, in their mortgage documents, they have a thing called the All Monies Clause. And the All Monies Clause basically says we can use any of our security to support any of our facilities, which essentially busts through any standalone anyway. So just don't get caught up in the whole, oh, it's standalone and that means it's okay, because the truth absolutely is that, you know, it's not as cross-collateralized as having direct mortgages, but it may as well have with regard to using their fine print as well. So again, just one of those little secrets, one of those tips that we've picked up. They are never forthright and open and honest about this, as they should be. And again, it's one of those things where we want to make sure that all of our finance professionals are supporting you in making sure that you are retaining the control in your financial relationships and not giving that control to financial organisations wherever possible. So please reach out to us. Again, we're always here to support your journey to the best of our ability. And you know, we're certainly ready, willing and able to be able to improve your existing situation with regard to removing cross-collateralisation through refinance and spreading your debt out across multiple banks. And then obviously when it comes to your acquisitions and everything else, making sure that you don't make that problem any worse than it already is as well. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that helps position you to be successful in property. And until next time, you know, thank you very much for your attention, and we'll catch you soon. Goodbye.